Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
What's going on, everybody? Crispy Bacon here. Welcome to another edition of the Morning Tailgate here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I'm here with Loro. Everybody else should be joining us shortly. How you doing today, Loro?
I'm doing good, Chris. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. It's the final week. It's been a long season, longer than previous years, but it's been an exciting one.
It has been. I mean, I really think that the 17 game regular season is good for the game of football, but maybe in the next CBA, maybe the league would want, because I know the league would want an 18 game regular season, which I think would be good, because I feel like that fans would want more regular season football than preseason football.
Yeah, I think so. I think slowly things are gonna kind of phase out of the preseason and just become like a regular season only thing. But maybe you'll have like not a spring practice, but a scrimmage with somebody close to you, for training camp.
Absolutely. So
Yeah. I mean, so let's start out with recapping yesterday's games. You had the Chiefs and the Broncos. Chiefs won that game. Uh, did you think that Kansas City was gonna win that game, or did you feel like the Broncos would?
I think Kansas City was going to win this game. They really needed this win. I really think that they really needed an opportunity for them to get this win. I think that they need to be the 1 seed, just because Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce had some injuries yesterday, and I got to make sure that those guys are healthy for a long, long run. And Andy Reid does well after a bye week in the playoffs.
Yeah, he does. I think it's gonna happen. I feel like Kansas City's gonna get that 1 seed, maybe two, depending on how the playoffs work out today. Because a lot of teams that have clinched are just waiting for playoff seedings to start. And we did hear that Vic Fangio, the head coach, or should I say former head coach of the Broncos, he got let go today, about maybe 30 minutes to an hour ago. Broncos let him know that he was going to be released. You think it was a smart move for Broncos to part ways with Fangio?
I mean, he should have not gotten fired in the first place, just because I really thought that he deserved another shot as a head coach of the Broncos after a good start to the season. Then they didn't end the season the way they wanted to. But I really think that Vic Fangio is definitely he's definitely the I feel like that he's definitely a good coach, but it wasn't George Payton's hire. So basically, George Payton is going to want his own guy now that he fired Vic Fangio. Now that he's going to want the Broncos to go in a new direction, because I think that's how sports works, and I think that Vic Fangio will be a really good defensive coordinator wherever he ends up. I have no doubt in my mind that Vic Fangio is going to be a coach somewhere, but probably will be either a head coach or a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I don't know. He did okay as a head coach. I think he
But
was
I
with the
think he's a
Chargers.
better defensive coordinator because he knows how to build really good defenses.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like he's a better defensive coach than he is a head coach. But I think he can kind of help out somebody, on a coaching staff that it was a previous head coach or wants to get coaching experience. Do you think so?
I think Vic Fangio. I think if you look at it, I think he's gonna want to. I think that he's gonna want to. Yeah, maybe he might get another shot being a head coach. He could be the head coach of the Vikings, which I think that could happen.
Yeah, it sounds like they're gonna let go of their head coach. Chicago's gonna let their head coach go. It sounds like more than likely. Uh, so let's move on to the next one of Saturday night, the doubleheader. It was the Cowboys traveling to Philadelphia, taking on the Eagles, and we have Sarge. How you doing, Sarge?
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Good. So did you? We'll go back for a second. What'd you think of the? Did you see the Chiefs Broncos game?
I saw bits and parts of it. If it wasn't for that fumble, I think really the Broncos probably had the Chiefs number on that. But other than that, I don't. Other than that, it was a. That's all I saw. It was okay
Yeah.
game.
They let the Broncos let go of their head coach earlier this morning. So
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
yeah, do you think that was expected, or I think it was?
It was expected because it's been mentioned like throughout the whole season that was about to happen and so forth. If you deserve it, I don't know because they really haven't had a quarterback like for that team. But even though they had a pretty good, they had above average defense, I would say, and he's more of a defensive minded coach. So I think I would give him at least one more year and at least try to find him a quarterback.
I think so. I think they're gonna go with uh Drew Lock, at least for right now. I mean, the off season's long, but I feel like that's who they're initially going to go with. Uh, but I feel like they're going to find someone too. And then we were going to talk about. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't think Drew Lock is a future of any quarterback team.
No, I don't. I don't think so either. Uh, so we're going to move on to the Cowboys in the Eagles game. Cowboys won that game pretty. They put up 50 points, well over 50 points, but it was against a backup led Eagles team. Sarge, what'd you think of that game if you saw it?
Um, it wasn't a win; it was a beatdown. For the Cowboys.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was like it was a actual a shootout like in the first quarter and part of the second quarter with that. I hope that Gardner Minshew just gets another chance in NFL. I think he's a pretty darn good quarterback, even with that handlebar mustache. He brings. I mean, the Broncos could probably use him. I think he's better than Drew Lock. I don't think he should be a backup. I think he has a huge ceiling potential to become a very decent starter.
Yeah, he's becoming a real good starter in the NFL. He's helped out Jaguars a little bit and the Eagles when they need him. I think he was trying to make an audition for a spot, maybe with Denver. Who knows? Uh, but I think he's going to get a shot with somebody. What do you think about that?
Gardner Minshew is a really good quarterback. I mean, he's very streaky, but I mean, he was. I thought the Jags had their guy in Minshew mania, but I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to develop over time. I think that it wasn't his best year this year. I really think that Trevor Lawrence will be even better next year, folks.
I hope he's better. I mean, Jacksonville is one of those teams. Maybe one of those possible six teams. I think it is. I'm thinking that are looking for a head coach, or yeah, looking for a head coach, and it just depends on what they want to do with Trevor Lawrence. If they want to continue him as a starter, or see what he can do as a backup and give somebody else a shot. Uh, Big B says, I am shocked how quick the Broncos made the call to fire Fangio. Yeah, I would have thought they waited till Monday to do that, but I mean, anytime works. He also says he doesn't want to see uh, Fangio go to the Vikings. I don't know if he is going to go to the Vikings, but I don't see that happening. Tim Hingert says it seemed like it was expected. Yeah, like Sarge said, uh, we all knew from the start of the season that he was going to be let go. It was just, I think if they're on a bigger winning streak, he would have stayed. I think. And then Tim Hendricks is also saying Jags need a new GM. Yeah, I agree. So I think we covered the Cowboys and Eagles game. There's not much to cover. I mean, Eagles broke a few records. Cowboys did it well, but there wasn't much to play for, in regard to seeding, or getting into the playoffs. So uh, we're gonna move on to the playoff. Uh, Big B saying the net head coach should be Tim Fielder with Isaiah as the
Oh
OC.
my God.
Well, I'll be looking for a new offensive coordinator after the first game.
My question for you, Sarge, my question for you is how do you feel about Matt Rulestein as your head coach of the Carolina Panthers?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give him one more chance. I was kind of done with him after this year, but man, it's only been his second year with that, and like with Cam Newton coming back, he came back mid-season not ready for the playbook or anything else with that, and like I've always said, I've not been a Cam Newton fan. I don't think he's that terrific of a quarterback, but there are rumors that Jay Gruden and Bill O'Brien from the Alabama offensive coaching staff could be the next offensive coordinator for the Panthers. So they are linked to the Panthers already, and I kind of like the name Jay Gruden right there.
Jay Gruden's been a proven head coach, and I think he'd be a proven, offensive coordinator for a team like Carolina. He did okay in Washington, so we'll just see how things go there. I believe. So let's move on to the breakdown of the playoff picture. It's week 18. We're finally there. 1 week until the playoffs. Things are slowly lining up, for a lot of teams. Right now in the NFC, you have the Packers, the Rams, the Buccaneers, Cowboys, Cardinals, 49ers, and the Eagles. Your top 7 for the playoffs. And just trying to sneak in is the Saints. They got a scenario, and we'll kind of cover that here in a little bit. Well, in the AFC, you have the Titans, the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Bills, the Patriots, Colts, and the Chargers at the top 7 positions. You got the Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers holding out hope for today. But some crazy things can happen, today. So we're going to start with the Colts. They're playing against Jacksonville. Colts can get in with a win, basically. Do you think they will?
I would say yes.
You
Yeah,
think so?
I'll just go with that. I'll start. Sorry about that, but
No, you're good.
I think Jacksonville will get in, even if they put in their backup team with that. The Jaguars have been poorly coached this year, but the Jaguars also have surprised us as well. But the Colts just need to win, or they need Steelers to lose. Same with the Chargers and the Dolphins to win. So that's their scenario right there.
Well, what do you think? Do you think the Colts will get into the playoffs? All they got to do is win.
I think the Colts get in, but I think that I just think that the Jags are going to play hard because this is the last week of the season. But I just think that the Colts will find a way to get a win here.
I think so too. I feel like the the Colts should win this game, but when I was watching pregame shows today, they're saying that since 2015, I think it is, the Colts have been winless in Jacksonville. Not saying that that can be possible today, but it's one of those, weird but interesting stats where, a team like Indianapolis, I know they had, Philip Rivers and Andrew Luck and, Brissett, kind of leading all of those offenses during the losing streak in Jacksonville. So, and Jacksonville has a lot, to prove today because even though they're eliminated, they can shake up this playoff picture uh, entering tonight's Chargers Raiders game. We also in that, or Tennessee is hosting Houston, or on the road against Houston. Tennessee can clinch a first round bye, home field advantage with a win today. You think Tennessee can do that? We'll
Who are
go
they
with
playing again? I don't have everything up right now.
It's okay. Houston. They're going to Houston today.
I'm going to say, yeah, Tennessee wins. If they win, they clinch the number 1 spot. I think that's one thing that no one would have seen that coming, because I didn't see that coming. I saw them as a playoff team, but I didn't see them as a number 1 slot team. But they do need to win. If they do lose, that means Kansas City is the number 1 seed in the AFC with their win yesterday. So I'm sorry, but Kansas City is going to have a rough time in the playoffs this year.
All right. What do you think, Loro?
What was the question again?
You think Tennessee can get in, or not get in, but get the first round bye if they win?
If they win, yes, but I just think that Houston's playing for their coach. That's why I'm going for Houston. I think that Kansas City's going to get a bye here.
I can see that. I mean, I can see Kansas City getting that bye. What's up, mess around?
Oh, it's mess around.
Sorry, I was late. I had to take the wife to get coffee, and
Is
I'd
that
rather be
Dutch
late
Bros?
for this show than be late for the Bears game.
Is that Dutch Bros?
Dutch
You're
Brothers.
not complaining.
Oh, I'm complaining every. Oh, I love Dutch Bros. Miss it.
Got me a pomegranate rebel.
So mess around. Do you think Tennessee will get the first round bye?
Who are they playing?
Houston.
Who they playing?
Houston. The
Houston?
Texans. Yeah.
Houston's going to pull off the upset, and Tennessee's not going to get the first round bye.
Yeah. I think Kansas City will get that first round bye. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Ravens. Steelers can get into playoffs with a win, of course, and the Colts and Raiders to lose. It's a final game for Big Ben on the road. He started his career in Baltimore. Playing against the Ravens in Baltimore, and now he's going to end it the same way. So we'll start with a mess around on this. Do you think Pittsburgh will get in?
Pittsburgh's going to win to get Big Ben one more playoff run, but it's going to be short-lived because you're going to lose in the first round.
Oh. Loro, what do you think? Pittsburgh's going to get in?
No, I don't think they get in. I just think that a lot has to happen if Pittsburgh is going to want to get. If Pittsburgh's going to get in, this is going to be a dramatic finish.
I think so. What do you think, Sarge?
I think this is a game to actually watch, just because, man, the Steelers need to win to get in, but they also need the Colts to lose as well. But the Ravens, they also need to win and the Colts to lose as well. So if I had to pick a team between those two teams to get in, I think it's going to be the Steelers, because the Ravens need the Colts, the Chargers, and the Dolphins all to lose. But I do not think. I think Baltimore wins.
I don't know. They're starting their backup quarterback, Hunley.
He's
I
good.
think
He's better than Jackson.
I
He is
agree.
good.
Better than Jackson.
He is good, but I think Pittsburgh's going to make it. I think they're going to get into playoffs. Looking at comments, Tim Hendricks says, "If Colts lose, I'll go. I'll go drown myself in the sea." Colts, I think he's saying 15.5 point favorites. He's going with the Titans. It'll be close, he says. Big B says, "What is the betting odds if you took the Jaguars and Texans to win?" I think it's going to be a lot of money. And then Tim Hendricks is saying Ravens send been packing with a loss. Hey, he started. His first game was against the Ravens, and now he's ending it with him. So it's going to be an emotional game for him, I think. But I think he pulls off the win. We're going to move on to the Bengals and the Browns game. Not much playing for the Browns, but the Bengals do. They can clinch a first round bye, and of course, home field advantage throughout. If they win, and the Titans, Chiefs, and Patriots lose, I think that is out of the question because the Chiefs won yesterday. But still, I mean, they're already in the playoffs. I guess we can move on since that kind of the Kansas City Chiefs spoiled that party. 49ers and the Rams. We're going to start with the 49ers. They can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a Saints loss. I'll go with Sarge. Do you think the 49ers will get in?
No, because the Rams are playing for the or for the NFC title. The Rams need to win to clinch that, and the 49ers need to win and the Saints to lose as well. So I got to take the Rams in this game because it's a division rival. I don't see them going easy on that team.
Mess around. What do you think?
I am going to say, and I said it last night on the MI6 show, that the Niners are going to lose. The Rams are out looking for revenge. They got spanked the last time they played each other. So the Rams are going to look out to get revenge today, and they're going to do it by ending the Niners' playoff hopes.
Laura, what do you think? Niners get in?
The Saints got to lose, so that they can't rely on that. I think the Rams are going to win because I think that the Rams are going to win the NFC West here.
Well, the 49ers just have to win to get in, but if that doesn't happen, they have to hope the Saints to lose. But for the Rams, they can clinch the West with a win or a Cardinals loss. You think I think Sarge said it earlier. You think they clinch the West? Sarge, you said yes, right?
But the Rams will
The
clinch.
Rams, yeah. Loro, do you think the Rams will clinch the AFC or the NFC West?
They will. I think they will.
Mess around?
The Rams are going to win the division.
I think so. I think the Rams will be the winners of that division, and then the 49ers will follow up behind them at number 2 or number 3. It depends on how the Cardinals do, I think. And speaking of the Cardinals, they're going up against Seattle at home. Cardinals are at home. But the Cardinals do have a chance to win that NFC West with a win and a Rams loss. I think we don't have to describe this too much because we all said that the Rams would get that spot. But it's a big game for Arizona.
I would say it's also a big game for Seattle with that because we really don't know what's going to happen with Russell Wilson at the end of the season, if he's going to stay or go. Even all the outlets here in the Pacific Northwest, they really don't know either. Also, is Pete Carroll going to still be the coach for the Seahawks? Because it hasn't gone too well for him these last few seasons for him.
Mess around. What do you think?
I think the Cardinals are going to win this game. And I don't think it's going to be that close. Even though it's a division game, the Cardinals have a lot more to play for. And like Sarge said, Seattle's kind of a mess. They don't know what's going on going into next year. So,
What about you, Loro? You think the Cardinals will get in with a division win, or you think that's going to be San Francisco's?
I
Because they're
think we
both
can.
looking for it.
I think that we'll see 3 teams from the NFC West get in the
wow.
playoffs.
I mean, that wouldn't be the first for a division, but I think at least the Rams and the Cardinals get in. A couple comments here. Tim Hendricks says the 49ers will not get in. Trey Collins is a gadget quarterback, so no. He's also saying Stafford is an above quarterback, but has weapons to be effective. He's also talking to Brandon, saying just why, and I picked the Vikings to beat the Bears. Brandon saying Rams score 60 points. Stafford throws 6 touchdowns. Cup 3 TDs, 250 yards. OBJ gets 3 TDs and 200 yards. Those are pretty bold predictions, I think. What do you guys think? That's a lot of yards for OBJ.
So what are you saying, Brandon? You're thinking Stafford's going to throw for 700 yards? Jesus, come on.
He's playing Madden, that's why.
Right?
That makes sense.
For Cooper Kupp, he needs 135 yards, I think, today to break the most receiving yards for a wide receiver. I think not Chad Johnson. Calvin Johnson. Yeah, Calvin Johnson holds that record right now. So I think Cooper Kupp does it today.
And ironically, if Kupp does do it, both Megatron and him did it with Stafford.
Are you wanting some breakfast too?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could happen. What do you think, Laura?
What's that again?
You think Cooper Kupp's going to break Megatron's record?
I think he will. I think he will, but I just don't want him to get hurt at the same time,
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are kind of up and down with how they want to play, if they want to play their starters or not. Mess around, what do you think? I think you said it earlier. He's going to break his record.
What do you need, 125? Is that what you said?
135.
Oh. I don't think he's going to get it. I think he's going to fall short. Only because they have so many weapons on offense. Kupp's a big part of that too, but OBJ has been starting to come on lately, and he's taking some targets away, so I think he falls just short.
So we're going to move on to Miami, where the Dolphins are facing the Patriots. Loro, your Patriots need to clinch the AFC East with a win and hope that the Bills lose. Do you think they'll do that?
I think they have a really good shot at it, but I think that the Bills are probably going to be beating the Jets. I hate the Jets too, but I'm going to have to go for the Jets today just because I want to see the Patriots get a division title. But is it going to happen? Maybe, but it's a long shot, I have to say right now.
Mess around, what do you think? You think the Patriots will get the AFC East?
Do I think the Patriots will get the AFC East? No. I think Buffalo's going to beat the Jets. And it probably won't be that close, but, it's the NFL. Anything can happen. Having said that, I'm still going to think the Bills to win this game.
Sarge, what do you think?
Well, I think Buffalo has it because it's the Jets. So I don't. Plus, they're playing in Buffalo, so it's Buffalo's game to lose.
New England doesn't play really well in Miami. It's a tough game for them. But I think New England can pull it off. It seems like they got their quarterback after having a year without Brady last year, and they had Cam Newton. Things just didn't go too well. I think they finally got their quarterback of the future. I mean, we'll just see how long, but I think they'll get that division win. Uh, let's see. Tim Hendricks is asking. I thought that was. Oh, he's talking about something between Brandon and him. Uh, Johnny Bravo saying Vikings are not uh, coordinated enough to tie.
Comment of the day right there. That's awesome.
Tim Hendricks is saying Madden simulation. He breaks it in the first half, talking about Cooper Cup. Casey King is saying, "Good morning, guys. Let's go Rams." Hopefully, the Rams can pull it off. We'll just see what happens. Tim Hendricks is saying, "I need the Dolphins to win for Indy to get the 5 seed." Yeah, the seeding scenarios are confusing. I was going to talk about them, but I'm like, that's a lot of work to cover. So, but yeah, they need the 5 seed. And hopefully the 4 seed is a easier opponent for them. Also, I meant to mention too, the Dolphins or the Patriots can also get a first round bye, uh, and home field throughout, with a win and a Bills Titans along with the Chiefs loss. A lot to play for New England. Uh,
Yeah, so
okay.
Kansas City won. So basically, but you think that
Yeah,
Buffalo wins today?
right. But because of the Chiefs loss, that kind of throws the home field advantage in the first round bye for them out the window. Um, the Saints, they can clinch a first round or not first round. Too many first round byes. Uh, can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a 49ers loss. They're going to face the Falcons on the road. Uh, Messing around, do you think the Saints will get in?
I think the Saints will get in because the Niners, like I said earlier, are going to lose to the Rams. And the only thing that scares me about saying this is their quarterback. I don't trust their quarterbacks, but the defense is going to carry them to the win today.
Yeah, I feel like their quarterbacks, they need another one. I don't know where they're going to get the new quarterback, but I feel like next year you're going to see somebody else. Uh, Roro, what do you think? Saints get in?
They're gonna need a new quarterback. I don't think they get in.
What about you, Sarge?
I don't think they need a new quarterback because Jameis Winston was was going to be the comeback player of the year if he continued what he was doing, because he only threw like 3 interceptions before he got hurt and so forth. But I think they do need a better backup quarterback. But the Saints do win, I think. Who
I
dat?
think they
Let's
can.
put it that way.
Who dat indeed. Let's see. Johnny Bravo is saying New England will not make the Super Bowl with that quarterback. I think it's a rebuilding year. Maybe one day they'll get in, but I agree. Maybe not this year, but anything can happen in the NFL. He's saying uh uh he's saying McDonald's is like a limited burger at McDonald's. I don't know about that one.
He says Mac
Uh,
Jones is like a limited burger at McDonald's.
Mac Jones is gonna be good, guys. I think by
no,
next
he
year
is.
he's.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think this year it's just a learning curve for him, and he's doing well. Um, let's see. Uh, Steven saying, "Will the Niners choke out the playoffs today? Who you guys got in the Niners Rams and Saints Falcons game. I think we're all saying the Saints will get in, and a lot of us are saying the Niners. Am I correct with that?
I said the Niners will not get in, and the Saints will.
Okay.
Yeah, with Trey
Uh,
Lance, no, Trey Lance will not lead the 49ers.
And he's saying wouldn't put it past them.
Von
Yeah.
Miller's gonna have a big day and get 4 sacks for that Rams D today.
So our final game of the regular season comes down to Monday night or Sunday night football. Too many Monday nights yesterday. Both the Raiders and the Chargers clinched a playoff spot with a win. However, we go back to that Colts Jaguars game, and if the Jaguars win that game, then all the Chargers and the Raiders have to do is just tie the game. You think? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think one team's going to get in, or do you think a Jacksonville miracle will happen and the Chargers and the Raiders get in? Who wants to start that?
Don't the Chargers and Raiders need to tie and both of them are in or something like that?
Yeah, if the Jaguars win, then all
Yeah,
the
if the Jaguars do win, I cannot see a tie happening between those two rival teams whatsoever. I can't see that happening. I bet you there's gonna be a huge outcry from like fans and stuff why you're putting this crap on the TV and so forth. So I do not think there is going to be a Jacksonville miracle. The only miracle they had was firing Urban Meyer.
Oh, well, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? You think one team or both teams getting in?
I'm going to say I think the Raiders get in. I really want to see Derek Carr play in the playoffs, and I think that Justin Herbert still has a high ceiling ahead of him. So I think that Derek Carr is going to want to play in a playoff game. There'll be plenty of times to see Justin Herbert play in the playoffs.
Mess around. What do you think?
I'm really pulling for that Jags upset, but I don't think it's going to happen because I think it'd be cool if it did. I saw a meme that said that if that happened, all the Raiders Chargers have to do is take a knee.
Yeah.
50 great plays a tie. But, you know, it's too much pride. They're not going to do that.
I would watch that game on mute if that happened because all you're going to hear is 1st and 10 and they take a knee. 2nd and 10, take a knee. So, you know, and then they're going to punt the ball. That would be a boring game, but it'd be kind of interesting at the same time because I think at one point in the game, you'll probably see either the Chargers or the Raiders go, I'm not doing this anymore, and one of them is going to win the game. So,
well, also you got to take a look. Like a lot of these players' contracts, they have incentives with it, and man, they could lose a lot of money if that really does happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see the Jaguars winning today, but it'll be a fun little storyline to keep track of, you know, today. Brandon is saying, why not cover the game where two coaches might be coaching their last game in Minnesota, where Zimmer and Nagy could be fired just seconds after the game ends. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting game too. Both teams are not in the playoff mix, but you know, like Big B said, you got Zimmer on Minnesota and you got Nagy, who's on the Bears. Both
It's
of them
not
are
a
expected
might.
to be fired.
It's not a might. It's going to happen. They're both going to get fired. There's no maybe or might about it.
That's true, but it's an interesting game where, you know, if I was in that position, I'd be like, I don't care what happens. It's going to be a new coaching staff either way. Let's just throw everything
if I'm one of
out
those
there.
coaches, I'm going for it on every 4th down. I'm throwing it all out there. It's my last game. Why not? Screw it. 4th and 30, we're going for it.
I agree.
Just Hail Mary every single play.
Right.
Steve, see, a lot of comments here. Steven saying I'd agree with Loro. This is the type of game where the Chargers generally lose. Uh, what do you think of that? Do you think that the Chargers usually generally lose games like this?
I mean, they've been getting better at not choking late in games with Staley, but I think that this team has a lot of potential heading into next season.
I think they do. Let's see.
They really hurt
Uh,
themselves by losing to Houston a
Yeah,
couple
they
weeks ago.
did.
Not just losing, getting blown out.
Steven's also saying that Saints game is a type of game the Falcons win, and plus Matt Ryan has been clutch against teams not above 500 this year. I think at one point, maybe not next year, but down the line, you'll see Ryan be traded. I don't know.
He needs to be traded now, to be honest with you, because they've. I mean, after giving away Julio Jones, I think they really screwed him up, and also they need to fix that offensive line. There's a lot of fixes that need to happen in Atlanta for him to be for Matt Ryan.
Sarge,
to be
I don't
successful.
think that Matt Ryan will get traded. I think that Matt Ryan will remain a Falcon. I think that he's resurrected his career under Arthur Smith.
I disagree.
We'll
I think
see.
he's going to be gone because his contract also comes into play as well. So,
Yeah, we talked about last night. His contract's like through the roof.
it's kind of like Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins' contract is 100% guaranteed, and that's why the Vikings cannot get rid of him because who
Hard to
they would
move.
have to go to a minor league football team to sign players.
Right. So we got a few minutes before the show ends. Let's talk about our MVP or our awards for the end of the year since we're getting close, and a lot of these, actually all of these awards are generally voted on during the season. Let's start with MVP. Let's go with mess around Dave. Who you got?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
What?
Tom Brady. I can't pick Aaron Rodgers because I just can't do it. I hate the guy.
All right, Sarge, who you picking?
I have to say Aaron Rodgers because messing around Dave is a bum and should not have a pick in an MVP.
Loro, who you picking for MVP?
Tom Brady, because he deserves another MVP award. He's had a really good season despite all the injuries that the Bucs had to endure this season with Godwin and all that. But I think that Tom Brady is going to be I think Tom Brady's going to win another MVP award.
I feel like it's going to be a quarterback, but I'm going to go with the Colts running back.
Taylor.
Yeah. I feel like he's been. If he doesn't get MVP, I think he'll get maybe rushing title. But I'm going with the Colts running back Taylor. This is kind of a two-part category, but offensive and defensive MVP. We're gonna start with offense. Let's go with Loro. Who you picking for your offensive MVP?
My offensive player of the year, I have to go with Jonathan Taylor of the Colts. I think that Jonathan Taylor has really had a phenomenal season for the Colts, and I know that Tim Hendricks would agree with me on it. And I think Jonathan Taylor is the reason why I think the Colts are really good. I think that the running game has been really efficient.
Mess around. Who you picking?
I'm also going to go with Taylor for the offensive player of the year.
Sarge.
Offensive player of the year. I know Taylor is a popular. Are we going AFC or NFC?
Either way, it's just
okay.
Your NFL.
Well, I'm going to go with the
MVP.
unpopular choice with this one. Then I'm going to say Cooper Kupp.
Ooh,
That's not bad. I like that too.
I'm gonna go with Cup. Why not? Since I already said uh, Jonathan Taylor. So let's now go to defensive MVP. Sarge, who you picking?
Defense MVP.
Yes.
Oh, I have a rookie one, but I'm not going to go with him. I'm going to have to go with Diggs from the Cowboys with all those interceptions.
Okay. Loro, who you picking?
For Defensive Player of the Year, I mean, it's got to go to Aaron Donald, hands down. You know.
Okay. Dave, who you picking?
I'm going to go with T.J. Watt, the guy that should have won it last year. The guy that leads the league in sacks, and he missed 2 or 3 games this year. So imagine if he played a full season.
I'm gonna go with T.J. Watt. I mean, he's 1.5 sacks away from breaking Strahan's record. It's crazy, but
Yeah,
I think he
it's
can do it.
crazy, but it kind of helps that he has that extra game right there.
Yeah, but he missed 2 to 3 games, so he didn't get that extra game like everybody else did.
That's true. Let's go to Coach of the Year. We're gonna start out with Dave. Mess around, Dave.
Matt Nagy.
Oh, what?
Just kidding. Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I want to give it to Brian Flores for the way they started out this year. It was horrible, and then they went on that winning streak. So I'm going to give it to him.
All right, Sarge.
I'm going to go with Mike Verbal, the Titans coach, with that one. There's no team that plays like how he coaches and how he played also when he was a player. So it's going to go to him.
Loro.
I would have to go to Zach Taylor and Brian Flores because I think that Brian Flores made a huge turnaround with the Dolphins' 1-7 record, and then also I also want to say that Zach Taylor, what a story he has been.
I kind of have to agree with Loro and go with Zach Taylor. I mean, no one expected, I believe, the Bengals to make the playoffs. There's a fan down here, calling in the radio stations. The Bengals. This is in preseason. Bengals are going to make the playoffs. Everybody, wrote him off, and they made the playoffs. But a lot of fans, I believe, did not expect them to make it, and they did. Let's go with Rookie of the Year. Let's go with Sarge.
So Rookie of the Year on the offensive side, I'm going to have to say Jamar Chase. He kind of reminds me of someone with the last name of Moss, almost like that. But if I have to go with the defensive side, I hate to say
it's just in general. These are
just in
your
general.
NFL
I'll just go with
awards.
Jamar Chase then.
Okay. Loro.
Mac Jones. Mac Jones has had an unbelievable first year with the Patriots. He's now the successor to Tom Brady, and I think that the future is bright for the Patriots once again.
Okay. Dave.
It's Jamar Chase, and it's not even close.
Yeah, I'm going with Jamar Chase. I mean, from the preseason where he said he didn't know how to, catch NFL regulation footballs, because I think they're different in college and the pros. He's really become his own, and I think he's improving a lot. Who do you think, and this is a team category, is the biggest disappointment? And I'm going to go with Mess Around Dave.
For me, it's got to be the Cardinals. I thought they'd be a lot better than what they are. They added all those pieces. I know they were hurt a lot of the year, but I'm gonna go with Cardinals.
Sarge, which team is your disappointment?
I can't say the Cardinals. I'm going to have to say the Seattle Seahawks because last year they were a playoff team and now they're just a last place team with a good pick.
The reason why I say that, the reason why you would say that, Sarge, is because Russell Wilson missed time.
No, I disagree with that 100% because they have a horrible defense. Their offensive line is not the best line that there is. I have a hard time seeing that Wilson is staying or Carroll staying till next season.
Yeah, I think they're both out. Loro, who's your biggest disappointment as far as the team goes?
I would have to say the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were supposed to be even better than they were with Urban Meyer came in, but they just picked up where they left off from last year, which was an utter disappointment.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree. I mean, Jacksonville probably has to. Well, I would have said Detroit, but they've been playing well even though they've lost. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville on this one. You drafted Lawrence. You thought you had your head coach in Urban Meyer. That didn't work out. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a good quarterback. He just needs time to grow. I don't think the system fit with Urban Meyer. Maybe you'll have to get somebody younger, in there. Maybe somebody from Clemson, probably, to understand the system. Maybe create a system around him that he's familiar with. Kind of take his former college offense to the pros. I wouldn't say all of it, but majority of it. At least his second year, and kind of grow off of that. Our final category: biggest impact player on a new team. Let's go with Loro.
The biggest impact on the new team when it comes to that,
Yeah.
Those are a lot of really good choices here, but I have to say, Joe Tooney of the Chiefs because he's really done a good job revamping that offensive line. But I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford. He's really made the Rams an even better team than Jared Goff has,
Sarge?
Well, I think Loro and I actually agreed on something. I mean, it's a 2022 Christmas miracle. Stafford, I think he is truly a better quarterback than Goff. Awful with that. So I got to go with Stafford on that one.
Mess around, Dave. Who you got? Who's the biggest impact player on a new team?
I'm going to have to agree with Matthew Stafford. I mean, he's put up better numbers than Goff did, and I think he's going to take a not to the Super Bowl, but they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs.
One more cigarette and I'll start breakfast.
I think, and I know this player's hurt, but if J.J. Watt played this entire season healthy, I would have picked him, but he's been hurt. I'm going to go with Stafford. I can't think of anybody else at the moment. But I'm going to go with Stafford on this one. And that was our NFL awards for the morning tailgate. With the season wrapping up, it's been a fun NFL season. What do you guys think of it so far as we head into the playoffs? Anybody?
Well, there's a lot of talk about these records being broken with the extra games, but I don't think it's a big deal because you go back to the day when there's 14 games and then they moved it to 16 and nobody made a big stink about it then, so why start down?
True. I mean, records are always going to be broken. I feel like. What do you think, Sarge?
I do agree with mess around. Like, they're just like it happened with like 14 games and we went to 16 games and so forth. It happened in baseball, happened in basketball, and also. But Cooper Kupp said it the best. He said it'd be great that he would beat Calvin Johnson's record but he says that it should be highlighted that it was an 18-game season instead of a 17-game season.
Well, and then should you say that for like when they transition to the from 12 to 14, 14 to 16 games?
Well, you're in the Super Bowl era. You got records like even on Sportscast, like they say that they say it's in this era, so this is a different era for the NFL. So it should be highlighted that it was in an 18-game season, as beforehand it will be highlighted that he did in a 17-game season. I'm not knocking anybody down who gets a record.
And it's like what Tim Hendricks is saying too. They argue for argument's sake.
It'll be a big deal for a while, and then eventually people won't even be talking about it anymore. It'll just be like a record got broke. Great.
I think this year it's going to be a big deal, and then next year it won't be. It'll just be a regular year. Laura, what do you think about the records being broken in a 18-week season, 17-week game?
It's good for the game of football. Setting new records is good because you get like a quarterback that sets new records for touchdown passes. It's good for the game, and I'm all for it.
I am too. I mean, records are meant to be broken. A lot of players want that to happen. Some of them don't, but I think a majority of them do. So with that, we're coming up to the end of the show. Final thoughts, everyone. Mess around, Dave. 30, 45 seconds.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for commenting and being a part of the show. Don't forget to check us out later tonight at 9 o'clock for Between the Ropes.
All right. Sarge, 30, 45 seconds.
Thank you for tuning in. I had to turn off my camera because the sun was glaring in and I can't see my screen. So thank you for joining us, and I hope you guys enjoy a great Sunday of the last regular season of football.
Laurel, your final thoughts. What's coming up for you?
Looking forward to a great final Sunday of the NFL regular season, and I'll be calling the Patriots and Dolphins game on Colorcast, along with the Raiders and Chargers game as well, and then also Extra Point later tonight on the MI6 Sports Network.
All right, so check all of us out on MI6 and Coast to Coast. Both networks have great shows. So make sure to tune in to Coast tonight for Between the Ropes, covering this past week's SmackDown and Raw. I am Crispy Bacon here with Mess Around Dave, Sarge, and Loro. Have a great Week 18 finale of the regular season, and we'll see you guys next week for the playoffs. Have a great day, everybody.